we are here to discuss this with distributors. The idea is to see who is able to have distribution capacity in all regions and whether it is also necessary to call on new distributors to ensure much greater availability of the other product throughout the country.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? This is Intervlog, and I'm coming to you with some good news out of Burkina Faso. And when I say good news, I mean the kind of news that makes you sit up straight, clap your hands, and say, nah, this is different. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have not been this excited in a minute. The energy I'm feeling right now? Crazy, because what I'm about to tell you is not old news. This is happening right now. This is fresh. This is live. The meetings are still going on. The discussions are still happening. And I had to jump on here and talk about it. This right here, world-breaking. And when I say world-breaking, I mean, I have not seen another country in Africa pull this off the way Burkina Faso just did, especially when it comes to tomato production. Yes, tomato. And I know some of y'all might be like, tomato? For real? Oh yeah, for real. Let me take you back for a second. When President Ibrahim Traoré stepped into power, one of the first things he pushed hard was this idea. We're going to produce what we eat. If we can grow it here, we're not importing it. Simple. So what did he do? He started investing in agriculture heavy. I'm talking tractors, farming equipment, processing machines. He improved roads so farmers could actually move their goods. He started building factories. He didn't just talk food security. He backed it up. And now we're seeing the results. Let's talk about Sopto tomato. What's happening there is unbelievable. In just 2 months of mass production, they have stored over 1,000 drums of processed liquid tomatoes. I'm talking full industrial drums. Packed, sealed, ready to go. Either for national consumption or export. 1,000 drums. And that's just the beginning. Delegates came to visit the production site where ADIA tomatoes are made, and they were stunned. I mean shocked. When they saw the volume, when they heard the numbers, they couldn't believe it. Over 1,000 drums every 2 months. Tomato production on that level. Some of the delegates even said there are villages that haven't fully accessed this tomato yet. And guess what? The conclusion was clear. Every Burkinabe should enjoy this product before it's shipped abroad. Because yes, Burkina Faso is preparing to export tomatoes. Let that sink in. An African country moving from importing to exporting tomatoes. That's self-sufficiency. That's flipping the script. And it doesn't stop there. Right now, 20 people have been recruited and are being trained in mechanized farming and distribution. That means this isn't just about production, it's about skills, it's about jobs, it's about long-term systems. This is what happens when agriculture becomes a priority. No country in Africa has hit this kind of level in tomato processing in such a short time like this. And we're talking about a president who's only been in office for about 3 years. 3 years. Look at the results. Drums stacked up, production lines running, tomatoes everywhere, employment growing, farmers empowered, and the people, they love it. Those who tasted the tomatoes said they prefer it over imported brands. They're proud to consume what's made at home. That right there is powerful. Now, the only major challenge left? Logistics, making sure that every single region, not just Ouagadougou and Bobo-Dioulasso, gets access. And that's where all those trucks, tractors, and transport investments come in. The machines you've been seeing being purchased? This is why most of these tomatoes weren't even planted or harvested by hand. They were cultivated with tractors, harvested with machinery. That's how you reach mass production levels. And don't forget, this tomato story is just one piece of a bigger picture. Roads are being built, schools are going up, hospitals are being constructed, housing projects are moving, reforms are happening left and right. But this tomato story, it hits different because I never thought I'd see the day where an African country is confidently planning to export tomatoes because they've achieved self-sufficiency. That's growth, that's strategy, that's leadership focused on fundamentals. Man, I'm honestly amazed. Let's tune in and hear directly from the people on the ground, from the delegates who visited, from those who tasted it and saw it for themselves. Because what's happening right now, it's real, it's fresh, and it's powerful. This is Intervlog, and I'm still smiling. Let's get into it.
That the feedback is very good, the product is very well consumed, and from experience.
On Friday, February 13th, 2026, the Agency for the Promotion of Community Entrepreneurship, APEC, visited Sopto Tomato Factory in Bobo-Dioulasso. A delegation from the Citizen Watch visited the facilities of the Burkinabe Tomato Company, SOBTO. in Bobo Dioulasso on February 13, 2026. This immersion, which is part of an accountability approach, allowed the visitors to discover the manufacturing process of the double-concentrated tomato paste, Adaya, under the guidance of the top officials of the Agency for the Promotion of Community Entrepreneurship, APEC, and SOBTO. The Citizen Watch delegation, immersed today in the tomato processing plant, was able to gain insight into the Adaya tomato paste production chain. From the arrival of the raw material, tomatoes, through their cleaning, transport to the processing plant, transformation and packaging, the entire process was explained to the day's guests. According to Karim Traoré, Director General of APEC, citizen oversight is a key player in defending the ideologies of the Popular Progressive Revolution. He stated that it was in this spirit that we wanted to give them an overview of our activities, and in particular, the operation of the tomato processing plant in Bobo Dioulasso. Production began a month and a half ago at this factory. According to the Director General of APEC, already more than 1,000 drums have been produced and stored, and the finished product has been packaged, suggesting a promising season ahead, says Karim Traoré. The organizers of this visit intend to forge a strong link between the community shareholders, citizen oversight, and the people of Burkina Faso. We want them to be our ambassadors, a conduit for information to combat any misinformation that may be circulating, explains Karim Traoré. The presence of the Citizen Oversight Delegation at SOBTO was also used to provide them with an update on savings collection, the construction of another tomato processing plant in Tenkodogo, and a gold mine in Gawa. They were also informed that the new cooperative society, which now has popular shareholding, is currently recruiting to establish a focal point and staff in each province to provide information and raise awareness. At the end of the visit, the members of the Citizen Oversight Delegation expressed a sense of satisfaction, including Minata Kabore, a student at Natsi Boni University and a subscriber to the Popular Shareholding Program. She encouraged the public to follow her example, as she was pleased with the observations made that day at SOBTO. Similarly, Josephine Ouedraogo/Traoré, Secretary General of the CNAVC, said she was amazed by what she saw at the factory, emphasizing its smooth operation. She promised to support its continued success by disseminating accurate information. This story actually started on August 5, 2025, when Ibrahim Traoré shifted away from Western influence. On August 5, 2025, Captain Ibrahim Traoré made policies in Burkina Faso. Shift away from Western influence. Captain Ibrahim Traoré's policies in Burkina Faso. Shift away from Western influence. Since taking power in a 2022 coup, the 37-year-old Captain Traoré, the world's youngest head of state, has led Burkina Faso in rejecting colonial legacies. The nation, rich in gold, has historically had its resources extracted by foreign companies with little benefit to its people. Traoré's key policies include ending French military presence. Traoré expelled French troops, dismantled Operation Sabre, and removed foreign military bases. Nationalizing gold resources. He nationalized key gold mines, valued at $80 million, and built the country's first gold refinery, ensuring that profits stay in Burkina Faso. Decolonizing the economy, launched a national postal bank to reduce dependency on the CFA franc. Banned second-hand clothing imports to bolster local textile industries, established a tomato processing factory to decrease reliance on imports, eliminating colonial symbols, replaced British wigs for judges with traditional African attire, adopted traditional uniforms in schools, prioritized local languages over French, investing in self-sufficiency, provided farmers with tractors and fertilizer to boost food production, offered free cataract surgeries and mobile clinics to improve healthcare, revived Air Burkina and expanded airport infrastructure, forming new alliances, established the alliance of Sahel states with Mali and Niger. Its plans include a central bank joint military force, new passports independent of ECOWAS. On December 3, 2024, Captain Traoré inaugurated Burkina Faso's first locally funded factory. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso's 36-year-old military president then, has inaugurated its first locally funded tomato processing factory. The factory is a major stride towards promoting food security and economic sustainability in the country. It is located in Bobo Dioulasso in western Burkina Faso. According to the Agence d'Information du Burkina, AIB, the government constructed the facility in just 462 days at a cost of 7.5 billion francs CFA. The funding came entirely from Burkinabés through a popular shareholder initiative, marking the first time a factory was built without soliciting external funds. Transforming Burkina Faso's agricultural sector. The state-of-the-art plant has a processing capacity of 100 tons of tomatoes per day and can produce 800 kilograms of finished products per hour. It could generate 187 direct jobs and 10,000 indirect jobs, with an average annual turnover of 8 billion francs CFA in its first 5 years of operation, according to Karim Traoré, General Manager of the Agency for the Promotion of Popular Shareholders, APEC. Speaking at the inauguration ceremony, President Ibrahim Traoré lauded the initiative and the Burkinabe people for their overwhelming support. Today is a great day. I thank those who understood our mission and signed up en masse, and I encourage those who were skeptical to join this movement, he said. He emphasized the importance of endogenous development relying on local resources and efforts to drive growth. We can only develop by ourselves, Traoré asserted. He urged factory workers to set an example for others to follow and inspire greater participation in APEC projects. Expanding the vision, the tomato factory is just one of many projects spearheaded by APEC. APEC established it in February 2023 to harness local resources for national development. Captain Traoré announced further plans to open a similar facility in Yako in the north in the coming days. Tenkodogo is planning another project in the East Center region. These projects align with Traoré's broader vision of economic resilience and sustainability. Since assuming power in September 2022, after overthrowing Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba, Traoré has prioritized strengthening local industries and addressing the country's challenges, including persistent jihadist attacks. Addressing farmers' plight, the Bobo Dioulasso factory represents a crucial solution to the long-standing issue of tomato wastage in Burkina Faso. Farmers often face dire circumstances, forced to sell their produce at exploitative prices or let it rot due to a lack of preservation and processing facilities. The new plant offers a sustainable alternative, ensuring better value for their produce and a stable market. The facility's inauguration further signals a new era of self-reliance for Burkina Faso. With its success, the government therefore hopes to inspire more citizens to participate in initiatives like APEC. We are building an example here that we hope will spread across the nation, Traoré stated. This is the end of our program today. See you on Intervlog, same time tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates. Thank you for watching Intervlog. Thank you.